Welcome, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Nancy Osborne will have our invocation.
Can everyone hear me back in the back? We know that the most important thing you can hear us, but I want you to hear our prayer as well. Let's pray together. Oh, Holy One, we gather in prayer tonight as we so often do, because we realize that there is something bigger than we are as individuals, bigger than we are as a group, even bigger than the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Hospital Authority and all the people for whom we care. So we pause in the midst of our busyness as we begin our work together to recognize that which is within us, which connects us, and which is beyond us. We may use different names for this reality for you, and we may understand your work in the world and in our lives and in this board in different ways. But we also realize that there is something that unites us. So here we are praying to you, O God. May we be guided by your light, called by your Spirit, and treated to your surprise, tonight and in all our days. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yes. I want to make a special recognition before we get started tonight. We have a new trustee with us here for his first time. We had a trustee leaving us tonight and a brand new one coming in. So I want to welcome Dr. Stephen Angle. So he's just here. We're very blessed to bring someone of Chancellor Angle's stature to our board, and we're losing a good one, but we're bringing on another one, so that's great. And I guess we'll go right into that. Ms. Stanley would like to come forward.
I wonder what it is.
Me too.
I want to just say it's an honor to me. It's an honor to me to be able to read this proclamation tonight and to be filling in for Jack and have that honor to do that. I came on the board in December of 2011, and Jennifer now is the last remaining trustee that was here when I came on. So she's been a mentor to me, and I've told her this several times, but I've told so many other people, she is one of the smartest people that I know. And I'm going to read this proclamation and we'll kind of back up some of the things I'm saying if you'd like to hold that. All right, so this is a commendation resolution for Jennifer E. Stanley. Whereas Ms. Stanley was appointed to the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Hospital Authority Board of Trustees on August 19, 2009, Hamilton County Mayor Claude Ramsey. Having served 8 consecutive years, Ms. Stanley completed her tenure on October 31st, 2017. However, she remained on the board until her replacement was appointed in April of 2018. Whereas Ms. Stanley served as chair of the Management and Board Evaluation Committee for 4 years. That was a lot of work. Chair of the Planning Committee, chair of the Legal Committee, in addition to serving on Budget and Finance, Personnel, Audit, Joint Conference, and Accreditation Committee. What didn't you do? Whereas Ms. Stanley drew from her executive leadership and local board experience to help advance some major goals of the institution, demonstrating dedication and skill in keeping the organization focused on its mission and obligation to provide a full range of high-quality, cost-effective healthcare services to all patients, regardless of their economic status. Whereas Ms. Stanley has exemplified the true role model for all future board members, which I completely agree with that, not only with the Erlanger Health System, but for anyone who is considering serving on a health system or hospital board. She has earned the respect and admiration of the health system's associates, her board colleagues, and members of the executive management. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees and the Executive Management express deepest appreciation Jennifer Stanley for unselfish devotion of her time, exemplary service to the hospital authority, and for her lasting contributions to the delivery of healthcare in the Chattanooga community.
It's bubble wrap. So.
No, I'll hold on to it then, I can get into this.
So for all the newbies, you're gonna have to guess what that is. I think
Yeah.
some of us have seen it, but,
In previous times, we have unwrapped it. And
Wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't a
Yeah.
good idea.
No, I get it. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, my fellow trustees. I'm sad to not be serving with some of you who are newer, and also sad to be leaving some of you who we've worked a lot with and accomplished a lot. Especially thank you to all of the associates and staff, medical leadership and care for patients, and who have done a great job of improving the quality of care. When I joined the board, I was saying to Kevin earlier, when I joined 8.5 years ago, my immediate goal was to just help get us back on stable financial footing. And then once we took a deep breath and got that, my next goal was, in my mind, what could we be if we were a $1 billion hospital organization, and what could we do for the citizens of this community with that kind of size and those kind of assets? And we're there now. So I'm so happy for all of you, happy for our community, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
okay, Jan has a Nurse Excellent recipient.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. It's an honor for me to stand up this evening to share with you the Nurse Excellent Award winners. And as you know, the month of May is the month that we celebrate our nurses, not just Day, but Nurses Week. And actually, it's turned into Nurses Month for us. So I'm going to share with you the winners tonight. Of course, they have already been awarded the awards. Tell you a little bit about what they are about and what they're doing, and go from there. But the Nurse Excellence Award is initiated as a nomination by a peer, a patient family, and submitted to the Nursing Council as a blinded submission, then voted on by the Nursing Council, which includes staff nurses. The criteria is based on the Erlanger Health System nursing philosophy, which includes 4 C's, and those 4 C's are up here: competency, customer focus, cost effectiveness, and compassion. Each of these categories has specific expectations that the nominee must meet before being considered for the award. So I'm going to ask the award winners now, not nominees, since they have received the award, to come up, if you will. So all of you just come up at once. We have, as they're coming, I'll read their names. Stay in front of the microphone, right? Okay, Jerry Kennard. He's representing the main campus here, the Baroness campus. We have Twyla Green. She is the East Hospital. Jeanette Ramirez. She is from Children's Hospital. Letitia Tooney from North Hospital. Christy Green, representing Bledsoe Sequatchie. Dinah Dockery, representing Erlanger Murphy. And then Princella Torrance, representing Physician Practices. You guys can go across in front here. I don't think that we have our recipients. It's just a little bit far for them to drive, so they didn't come. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you how much that we appreciate them. And there's another thing that I want to tell you about, and I want Mr. Spiegel to stay up here too. But what they actually are awarded is that they will attend the Magnet Conference. And as you know, or you may not know, a Magnet is a national certification that we have just looked at and decided that we want to be a part of. So these will be our representatives at our Magnet Conference this year, and they'll bring back things that they can help us with, the leaders at their hospital. Also, they were given an award plaque, and that will be displayed on their unit, and their picture will also be up there. And, okay, don't talk about that yet, but I want Mr. Spiegel to go over and stand by the recipients, if you will. And Paul, I guess you need Okay, he doesn't have anything to give them because we've already given them their awards, they've already had that. But, and they didn't know they were gonna have to do this, but just, do you wanna say anything, Jerry, start with you, just tell us where you work and just tell us how long you've been here, because I think you have seniority on everybody. I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, I work in the CBICU, been here 23 years, and I was just gonna say, they got it wrong because I've worked with the best nurses through the years I've been here and still do today. But I appreciate the award.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Prince Torrance. Right now I'm in UT OBGYN in the medical mall. I've been there for 5 years, but I've been with the company for 12 years. I'm here. I think I'm a permanent fixture for right now.
I'm Janelle Ramirez. I've been here at Children's Hospital for 16 years. Most of them in the NICU, but now I'm doing the float team, which covers pretty much all departments at Children's Hospital. So thank you so much for this honor. This is truly an honor. I'm blessed to be celebrated for something that I'm really passionate about.
My name is Letitia Tony. Erlanger hired me for my first job out of nursing school in 1993, and I left the bedside for several years, and they hired me for my first job back to the bedside after an absence. So I am extremely grateful for this opportunity to live my passion, taking care of patients at the bedside.
These nurses are certified nurses. They all have advanced degrees. We're very proud of them and appreciate what they do for the areas that they serve. And they're a great example for all of the nursing. So thank you very much. Okay, just one more thing that I want to make mention of, you all can go sit down if you want to now, is that we started what we're calling the wellness program for nurses in the Erlanger Health System. This year we did something a little bit unique for them. Rather than give them a t-shirt or just some small token of appreciation, we actually gave them a free pass for them and their family to go to Reflection Riding. And I can tell you, I almost was a little afraid that this might not work so well, because sometimes, we like the little tokens such as t-shirts and whatever, but I have had very good positive feedback from nurses saying how much they enjoyed spending the day with their family, and it just gave them time for rest and relaxation. Also, the auxiliary sponsored 167 baskets to all of our hospitals, every single unit, and they had a lot of goodies there. So we showered them with a lot of good pampering, and hopefully they'll know how much that we care for them. Paul has one more thing to share with you about Nurses Week.
Thank you to our Erlanger Health System's unsung heroes, our nurses. Just remember, every day you come to work, you are the caregivers, communicators, patient advocates, and decision makers. You are the hand holders, the voice of reason, the 3 in the morning vitals checkers, and you become the around-the-clock best friend by the bedside, the calming voice, the familiar face full of compassion.
This is Nursing Month, and I'm here with 2 wonderful nurses, Jason and Diane, and I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm going to start with you, Diane. Why don't you tell us why you became a nurse?
Because I wanted to be a superhero in Scrubs, pretty much. I had a cousin that was very ill, and I stayed at the hospital with him pretty much for a while, and I just saw the work that the nurses did, and I was just in awe. And I said I wanted to do something. I wanted to be a part of that, to be part of healing with somebody and just to make a difference in somebody's life.
You're wonderful, and you are a superhero.
Well, thank you.
Jason, tell us about when you became a nurse.
I've always had an interest in medicine. I started off as an EMT on the emergency medical side of things.
Me too.
And then transitioned over into the nursing aspect. And it kind of grew from those patient contact experiences and wanting to do more and learn more and further my education. And so nursing was just an easy, natural progression.
What do you love about nursing?
just interactions with my patients and their family members, and just to see the look on people's face when I walk in a room. And I mean, they can get bad news or be very ill, and you can actually, by the way that you are, just change everybody's outlook on things.
See, you know, we're doing wonderful things here at Erlanger, but if it weren't for the nurses, we couldn't do any of it. And, you know, just thank you and everybody that serves our patients in our community. And so proud to be connected with probably the finest nurses in the entire region.
I mean, we're the ones that day in and day out get to solve problems for patients that they can't solve themselves. So it's great to be part of that care team and fix those problems, get them medically tuned up and back to life.
Being the liaison between the doctor and the patient, and having that, you know, just being the middleman and being able to help out.
So Jed, this is another wonderful time about celebrating nurses and nursing care here. Nurses, you're so fine.
Up all day and night, and that's part of the job.
Remember to keep calm and nightingale on. You heal the heart and mind, and that's not really all. How about your soul and body? Each day you give your all. They may forget your name, but not the way they feel. But that's what makes us special, the ability to heal. Be mystical, always on the job. It's all part of the job, and I'm okay with that. Nurses! Hey nurses! It's the nurses each day that always have your back.
From bedpan to sponge bath, it's all part of the job.
Hey nurses, hey worship. It is who I am, my calling, my passion, and my world. Let me say just one good thing to really make a point.
If love can cure it,
We do like to have some fun too.
Thank you, Jan. That was great. Tyler Sugars is going to make a presentation now on UTC and the Children's Hospital Outpatient Center.
Right, good evening, everyone. For those of you I haven't had the pleasure to personally meet, my name is Tyler Sugarts, and I'm the Assistant Administrator for Children's Hospital. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Poet Jones, Anna Tenpenny, and Dr. Abraham from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So for the past 2 years, we've partnered with UTC students and faculty at Children's Hospital for their seniors in their capstone engineering management design course. This past year, the project team presented a patient flow simulation model for the new Children's Outpatient Center going across the street. So this has just been an exciting partnership for us all, not only because it allows us as Erlanger to advance our teaching mission, but these students and the faculty are producing work products that are just outstanding, that are really aiding in our ability to make decisions as it relates to improving care for our patients and for our families. I just can't thank you enough. I want to congratulate you all on a job well done, and just say I'm looking forward to continuing to work with Ode and all of the faculty in the next few semesters and next years to come as we continue to have this partnership evolve and continue to work with you all. So with that, I'm going to let them take a few moments to talk about some of their work.
Thank you for having us. My name is Wanda Roha. I'm a faculty in engineering management and technology, and here are my students. They did the job, so they get the credit.
My name is Anna Tenpenny, and I'm a senior in the engineering management department, and so I was working with this project alongside Poet.
My name is Poet Jones, and I'm a junior. Well, I'm a senior this year, and we learned a lot from this project. And
So in January, we started, we met with Tyler and Harley and talked about the new outpatient center and some of the workflow processes that were going to be available to Erlanger at that new facility. And then we received data that we were able to use to see how we could improve wait times in the outpatient facility. So we took the floor plans that we received from the new facility and began working on a new workflow process. We used a cause and effect diagram, used a lot of data analysis to come up with a solution of how we could reduce wait times. And as an undergraduate research group, we felt that we could provide the most improvement in the registration process. And so that is kind of where we focused, is in the registration process.
yeah, Erlanger provided around 7,300 data entries to us for analysis for patient visits over the course of 1 month. So we used Excel, filtered that information, looked for bottlenecks, analyzed time of day, throughput for each department, the departments that ran the longest times for check-in to room, and we cross-referenced that and came up with, used Pareto analysis to find our top 6 departments that could use the most work. And we did, we found that the allotted times that were provided in the data were a lot of the check-in to wait times, check-in to room times were 50 to 80% of the total allotted time average given to each patient for each visit. So we looked at kiosks. We were told that kiosks were a focus, possible focus of Erlanger moving forward. So we did some research on that and determined that actually the national average is around 19 minutes for wait time. Erlanger is at 17 minutes, and that is for those top 6 departments. So it's good job. But the kiosk would save approximately 3 hours per day just in registration times for registration to room time. That could be used for improving quality or increasing throughput for the hospital. That's for an on average of 227 people per day to the hospital. And this over 5 years came out to around $1.05 million savings for the hospital in use of kiosks. And with the new facility, we were looking at 4 kiosks per floor, and just for the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor. There would obviously be personnel there for navigation and help with the kiosks, but this would have a direct link to the database and would would help solve a lot of the issues of redundancy, having someone take the information, having someone else enter the information. You would have more auditing than you would people doing, 2 or 3 people doing the job of the kiosk. And so, but yeah, each kiosk was around $22,500. That included the hardware, the yearly licensing fee, and the custom programming software from the manufacturer.
Again, thank y'all so much. Just again, tremendous job. Congratulations on a job well done, and we look forward to continuing to work with your students in the next years to come. So awesome. Thank y'all.
Okay, I believe everyone received a copy of the minutes. Everyone get a chance to review those? So can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay. Sheila, here. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's go through the committee and subcommittee reports. Henry, I know you've been meeting a lot.
The Budget and Finance Committee did meet this past Monday. We received the budget proposal for this next fiscal year, 18 and 19. We'll be having meeting sessions over the next few weeks to learn more about the budget and ask more questions and that type of thing. So that, and then hopefully by the June board meeting, we will have a recommendation to the board about the budget.
Okay, great. Thank you. As chair of planning, we have not met since our last board meeting. Phil?
No meetings.
Gerald?
No meeting.
Linda's not here. I don't think MX met. Okay. And the executive committee has met several times. Okay. Anyone have any unfinished business? Mr. Woodard, I would like to present a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board has before it resolution number 18-0501, resolution amending and restating the bylaws of the hospital authority. Comes as a recommendation from the legal committee. 3 changes throughout the document, and I'll go through them briefly and answer any questions that Gerald has been involved in as well, so he can speak to as if need be. We revised, as a product of the planning committee, revised the mission, vision, and values. Those were integrated into to replace the previous mission, vision, and values in the bylaws. We changed the composition of our retirement subcommittee to add Mr. Gentry as the Chief Administrative Officer, Floyd Chassie as the HR officer on that committee, and took Mr. Spiegel as the CEO off of that committee. Still attend, but is no longer a member of that committee. And the third and final was to remove the Joint Conference and Accreditation Committee and to delegate those duties to the Medical Executive Committee. So in effect, the only revisions on that piece of it, Joint Conference is out, and the MEC will report up directly to the board, which it currently does. We had historically had this additional level of board membership as well as medical staff membership. Had to have been the worst committee ever because I've never heard anything but complaints about Jay helped me, and Jay and Will help with the revision on it, but I'm available to answer any questions that you may have on it. Gerald, I know, will help as well.
What was the second one you talked about on the was it
The retirement
pension
subcommittee,
committee?
the retirement subcommittee, Henry, we've replaced, it previously was the COO, what is it, Greg, CFO, COO, and the CEO were the officio members, and we replaced the CEO, and I don't know, do you recall if COO was replaced, Greg?
Yeah, so the 3, Britt as the Chief Financial Officer, myself as the Chief Administrative Officer, and then Floyd Chassie as the Vice President of Human Resources.
Jeff, what was the Joint Conference Committee? What did it do?
It served, it was over medical affairs, quality, patient safety, the function of the medical staff.
Okay.
This committee, and it was historical, Phil, most institutions do not have that added layer of bureaucracy. The MEC is responsible for patient safety, quality improvement for the organization, and it now will report it directly to the board with this revision.
And I think when we realized after I read off Jennifer's acclimates, all the different committees she was on, of course, we are all required to serve on 3 or 4 of those committees, and so taking committee away is helpful.
That's nice news.
To the group.
Keep doing it.
Right?
Absolutely.
I move that we approve the resolution. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. All right, Jay.
I'll say my report for credentialing.
Okay. And Dr. Schaff is not here. So, Mr. Spiegel.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I too want to welcome Dr. Engel to the board. I appreciate the relationship between UTC and Erlanger, and hopefully we'll build bridges together. Ms. Stanley, thank you. Excuse me, for your service. You and Mr. Griffin were on the board when I was hired, and for the last 5 years got to enjoy working with you and your dedication. Thank you so much for your service. Nursing awards, I want to also applaud the 6 nurses who received the Nurse of Excellence Award this evening. They're a tribute to the dedication and the patient care that this whole healthcare enterprise represents. Currently, we are fortunate to have 2,300 nurses that provide compassionate care to the citizens of this region. So congratulate to everybody. Ironman was this weekend, another wonderful reason to live in Chattanooga. We had a lot of volunteers, of physicians and nurses and paramedics and medical techs, all taking care of patients. And throughout this, there's another one in, I think, September, full Ironman. This was a half Ironman, so we have another day to serve here, but it was absolutely wonderful, and thank everybody who volunteered for that. That also ties into EMS week. We'd like to recognize all of the pre-hospital care providers in our region and Life Force. Today we had a ceremony recognizing all of the dedicated, the trauma team and Life Force and all of the EMS agencies and fire departments throughout our region in Northwest Georgia, North Carolina, and East Tennessee. So congratulate to everybody for that. Erlanger's trauma program celebrated its 30th anniversary of being designated by the state of Tennessee as a level 1 trauma center. So everybody part of the trauma center, this is a wonderful thing. Children's Hospital Outpatient Center is on schedule, and it is going to open up in December. Erlanger in the news. Wall Street Journal article recognized Dr. Tom Devlin, who is here. Dr. Devlin and his team of Harris Hawk and Emily DeCros, who are neurologists and interventional neuroradiologists. As part of our department, we're one of the 4th largest stroke centers in the United States. Dr. Devlin will argue with me on exactly, he thinks we're higher because it's in one center, but I'd love to have that argument any day of the week, whether we're 1 or 4. Bradley County, we are presenting to the State Health Planning Council for a Certificate of Need for an emergency department in Bradley County that will consist of a comprehensive cardiac cath lab and a level 4 trauma center. The hearing is scheduled on June 27th, and I'm going to ask Greg Gentry just to read one letter, because we've been getting lots of letters coming in about it, but I'd like to ask Greg if you could please read one of the letters.
Yeah, please. We've received many, many letters, and wanted to lift up this letter from a citizen from Cleveland County. I almost wept with gratitude when I read the announcement in this Sunday's Cleveland Daily Banner. We have relied on Erlanger's excellent care for decades, and my adult, disabled son has received care there since infancy and still does. Since moving back to Bradley County this year, the lack of a local trauma center and the overcrowding into Nova's ER have been a real concern. I'm thrilled to know that, hopefully within a year or two, those concerns will be eased by your new facility. Though I pray that my family never needs to utilize this new trauma center, I am thrilled for everyone in Bradley and Polk who will need it. I'm sure your staff will save many lives and relieve much suffering as you carry on Erlanger's history of excellent care. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
just also acknowledge what Mr. Haas was saying, that we did present the budget to the Finance Committee. We will be having lunch and learns for the board. If any board member can't make one of the 2 designated lunch and learn sessions, call me or Britt, and we would be glad to meet with you on a one-to-one. There's a lot of information in this budget. It now sets a new net patient revenue record of Erlanger to $1.1 billion. So there's a lot of information in this budget. There's a capital budget, there's an operating budget. It is pretty comprehensive, so it is going to take the full month for all the board members to get up to speed before it comes to a vote next month. So, Mr. Haas, thank you and your committee. Mr. Chairman, that is my report.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I want to especially thank, or I guess praise you and Jan for your musical abilities, your singing, and you leading the Congo line there. That was really good.
Yeah. I didn't think anybody would bring that up.
Okay, so do we have any other reports, any other business? Anybody? The you see Budget and Finance on June 25th, and the next board meeting will be on June 28th. No further business. We're adjourned.
Mike, before we end, I just want to say one quick thing, and it's already been said, but I just wanted to reiterate it. Once again, I just want to give my personal thanks to a board member, and that's Jennifer Stanley. She probably did not know this, but I took a lot of my cues from Jennifer. Believe that she was the smartest member of this board. Jennifer led us in directions that we needed to go, and she did it in a very subtle manner, but she always did it with the highest level of competency and a deep and thorough understanding of the minutia and all of the operations of this hospital. And it amazed me how a person who had a career outside of Erlanger could know so much about so many different areas of this hospital, but she did, and she spoke with competency and leadership on, I don't care what committee it was, I don't care what the issue was, she knew about it. She always knew more than anyone in the room about it. And so when she said something and she gave an opinion, I knew that I could trust that opinion because it was well researched. And so I just wanted to again say thank you for the service that you've given this board, for the service that you've given this community, and for your guidance and your leadership for all the years that you've served. Thank you again.
All right. Anyone else? We're adjourned. Thank you, Jennifer.